Hello, my name is Kevin Hale, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my teaching career and my style of teaching. I'm from Canada, and I taught for a number of years in the public school system in Canada. I taught PE, I taught social studies, mostly middle school, but a lot of elementary school as well, a little bit of high school. I taught English, and elementary I taught grade 3, 4, 5, 6. And I taught all subjects, French, math, everything included in there. But most of the time in that part of my career, I was teaching social studies and English. In 2005, I went to Japan to work at the Canadian International School of Tokyo. I did that for 6 years, teaching PE, but I also had a stint teaching grades 3, 4, and 5. And after living in Tokyo for 6 years, I needed a change. I moved to Vietnam, and I got a job at the Australian International School teaching grade 3 and 4. I stayed there for about 3 years. After that, I worked at Saigon South International School teaching PE for 2 years, middle school. And since then, I've been teaching at a couple of jobs. One is called E-Class or E-School, and it's full-time teaching during the week and also some teaching on the weekends. So I'm always busy with work, and certainly my wife tells me that. Teaching style, well, when you have a topic like English, it's important to divide it into subtopics. I like to divide it into vocabulary, speaking, listening, reading, of course, and grammar. Vocabulary is important. There's many really good vocabulary books to use, but I also encourage the students to make their own vocabulary books as well, to keep a record of words that they learn and words that they should learn. Speaking wise, we do lots of formal and informal work. Some of them are prepared speeches and some of them are impromptu speeches. Speaking is one of the hardest things to teach in some ways, because people often in this country don't really want to speak because they're afraid of making a mistake. And I really like to encourage my students to be risk takers, to be able to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. Listening is another part of English that is a little bit underdone, I think. Reading, of course, there's tons of different reading resources that I've used, both short fiction, nonfiction, and novels. Grammar is the last one. I do a lot of grammar. I really like grammar, actually. I like teaching grammar, so I'm one of the few people who like to do that, perhaps. But I think it's important to know it. I think it's important to know it correctly, of course. Now, my teaching style, I like to be flexible. Sometimes I can be flexible, sometimes I'm not able to be flexible. But the bottom line for my method is that all students are engaged. So in any given class, you're often going to have kids with really proficient English ability. You're going to have students with really low English ability, and you have to accommodate everyone, and you have to accommodate everyone according to their abilities. And that's not easy sometimes, but it's worthwhile. I like to have the feeling of students accomplishing things, that when they really have a sense of that they did something correctly or learned something, and that's a big part of engagement as well. Relevance is another important aspect of teaching. The content has to be relevant for students to be engaged. It has to matter to them. It can't be a matter of they come to class at 9, they leave at 10, and they forget everything. I really try to encourage an atmosphere where students are willing to take the skills that they learn in class and apply them outside class as well. Teaching is it's a pretty tough job, but it's a good job. It's good, fairly easy to find work. If you work hard, it can be worthwhile, and that's about it. So, this is Kevin Hale signing off. That's my story and that's my method, and I hope to see you at iTeach.